welcome back. Today I'm doing a period slash cycle routine, and this time it's different because usually I sit down and I'm like telling you tips, but this time it's a real-time cycle routine and I'm in the thick of it because I started this morning and I was like, oh, it might actually be good if I record it, because I did like period tips, like cycle tips a couple weeks ago, and I was like, let me actually do it. If you don't know me, my name is Sada. I talk all about self-care, hygiene, taking care of the temple that God has given us, and also just like doing things to become the best version of yourself. And today's a Sunday, so I'm trying to rest, and perfect because it's my first day. My first day is usually like the most painful and everything like that, but I wanted to do this routine because I want to show you how I take care of myself. Not only that, period hygiene routine, how to smell better on your cycle, how to, feel fresh and just keep up with it. And our hormones are everywhere. So what I do to keep up with that so that I'm not stinking, but I'm feeling fresh, staying in, resting. During this time, we feel less social, we are more tired. And so how to do better with that, what to do during your cycle, especially if you have bad cramps. I've talked about this multiple times, but I've been having bad cramps since I was younger, and I feel like now I'm learning how to manage it in the healthiest way possible. So I'm going to show you how I cycle sync and what to do on your cycle, and some of the best tips I've added so my cycle goes smooth and it's not painful. I don't dread the time. I'm at home. I have a studio where I work and I have a home where I stay, okay? So I'm home today because I just felt like, I don't have the motivation to go to my studio, to work, to film there, to stay there. So I'm doing it here. Honestly, I don't have to go there to show you what I do during my cycle. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's gonna be mainly voiceover because as you can see, my energy is going down. I got a little bit of energy to do this intro, but I wanna show you a real, authentic cycle routine, the products that I use, how I take care of myself, my mental health, everything during this week because it's so important. But anyway, let's start on this routine.
First, I feel like it's obvious, but eating warm food. Whenever I'm on my cycle, I want hot tea, soup, something like that, because not only does it just helps you feel comforted, because honestly it does for me, but it actually helps with blood flow. It reduces cramps, supports digestion, keeps the body warm, reduces inflammation, especially like when you pair it with ginger. So I actually drank ginger tea, ginger and turmeric. I came for red raspberry leaf tea, ran out, so I had this and it actually helped. Then the next thing is just to rest. I don't know why it's so hard for us as women to rest because we're constantly busy. But the time of the month, God created this time for us to rest and reset and rejuvenate. And so we should take that seriously. And especially for me, day 1 and 2, I barely have energy to do anything. So I let myself sit, I let myself rest, watch comfort movies. If you know White Chicks, that's my favorite comfort movie. And I don't even want to scroll or anything. I do something that comforts me. So allow yourself to rest. And I know we all have different schedules. Some days, this was a Sunday, so the whole day is free. But I know there's sometimes, you come back after work, you had cramps and you didn't feel that well the whole day. Just create some time to rest. My favorite comfort food is shrimp coconut curry stew with rice. And my sister happened to make that the day before. So it was perfect because this is the kind of food that actually helps us during our menstrual phase. And I've been cycle syncing and it's been helping so much eating food that actually go with my cycle. I think moving is one of the most important things we can do for our bodies, especially when we're on our cycle. We cannot neglect that. One thing is we want the blood flow, but also just to move around. I remember when I was younger, people used to be like, oh, your cramps are so bad. Why don't you exercise? And I'm like, you want me to exercise while my stomach is cramping? But honestly, as I'm learning to love walking, it has been helping my cycle so much. So do some type of light workout. Now to the cycle hygiene, which is probably my favorite, but I love taking baths instead of showers. And if you don't have a bath, it's okay. A hot shower works too. It doesn't need to be a bath, but if you're able to take a bath, I feel like just soaking in the warm water really helps my cramps. Not only that, but I could put essential oils that actually help my cramps. I love this bath soap with this bath oil. I actually tried this for the first time like a couple months ago. I loved it. And then I can't forget apple cider vinegar. It's the mother of all detoxes. So I just mix all of these and I honestly just sit in the bath as long as I need to. And before I go, I set my towel, underwear, and pad just right beside so I can just change as soon as I get out. As I mentioned, I take my time in the bath. But what I like to do when I'm in the bath is I like to reflect. So I go on the notes app, reflect on the month or the year or something that I'm going through. And when I tell you this is the best way to relieve, I think our menstrual cycle is meant to be where we reset, rejuvenate. So I just have my time with Jesus. I reflect, see what he's been working on me, just really listen and try to not scroll as much and just focus on that. I actually got up and took a shower because I feel like it's nasty just getting out of the bath and like leaving. So I used the Naturium Mandelic Acid body wash. I actually tried my sister's VH Essentials feminine wash and better than I thought it would be. I like using some type of like baby wash rag to really clean because this is a very crucial part of the month where we should clean, especially with some type of like help, like a baby washcloth, something that's not too rough. And I like using my regular gentle face wash, but I just use the VH Essentials and it did the job. I also like keeping the scent light, especially day 1 and 2. I get nauseous. Pray for your girl. When I'm pregnant in the future, I don't know how I'm gonna handle smells, especially if I feel like this during my cycle. But the first and second day especially, I just keep the scents light, but I'll show you how to still smell good without having heavy perfumes. Another thing is our hormones are everywhere. So that means we can break out. Our moods are everywhere. This time of the month, like everything is discombobulated. So it's okay. And you don't have to feel crazy because all of us go through this, okay? But for me, I'm actually breaking out around like my nose area, a little bit of like the hormonal cheek and like, you know, the side of the cheek, my chin. So I want to do some type of face mask after doing my nighttime oral hygiene routine. Also, I'm running out of my favorite toothpaste, so I need to reorder it again. I also think doing my nighttime skincare routine, it's probably one of my favorite parts of my nighttime routine because it just feels so luxurious. Okay, doing this, I feel pampered. So I double cleanse my skin, one with oil and then I go with my face wash. And do you see how much makeup it took off? Yeah. And that's why I double cleanse. I go in with the salicylic acid face mask because this really helps just reduce inflammation, acne, redness, and that's what I have around my nose. So I put that on for about 10 minutes and I just let it dry. The next thing I want to talk about is very much big sister coded. So if you don't like talking about the behind the scenes of what actually happens in our cycle, you could skip this part. But just as a reminder, even if you haven't learned before, cleaning up after yourself. I know it's something so obvious, but sometimes people don't know that. You know, I'm talking about with period products or the things that you use. I remember when I was at that school, a staff member, when I was like in 4th grade, she was like, I don't let the rest of my household know I'm on my cycle. And I did not get what she meant by that. But that means cleaning up after yourself, like wrapping with toilet paper after your pad or cleaning up your seat after you're done. The period hygiene part, yes, is taking care of us and how we smell good, but it's also taking care of the things you leave. So speaking of that, use some type of wet wipes or peri bottle, especially after you're done using the bathroom, to just feel fresh, get everything out. And I love using a peri bottle. When I tell you, a bidet is even better, okay? When I get the courage to use a bidet, then I will, okay? But for now, I love using a peri bottle. It just helps you clean because I personally feel like a dry toilet paper doesn't get everything. So use some type of like wet wipe or peri bottle, you will see the difference. And I know everyone has different bodies, different cycles, but I just want to show you my routine because I wish there was a video like this when I was younger. I felt like it was like a taboo topic, especially because I was a YouTube watcher when I was younger. So I used to look for videos like this and I wish there was something like that. That's why I'm creating this video. And honestly, you don't need to do this many steps, but the main thing is just get the basics done. Taking a shower at least once a day. You know, taking care of yourself, deodorant, changing your pads regularly to avoid toxic shock syndrome, changing it every like 7 hours is all part of taking care of yourself. I love doing skincare. That's why you see me do like a 5-step skincare routine. But whatever helps you feel comforted, whatever energy that you have, I just got a burst of energy, so I did all of this. Oh, I almost forgot. I got too into the skincare that I almost forgot witch hazel. Witch hazel is perfect to clean just behind the ears, you know, places that we probably didn't get inside the shower, to just get that extra third cleanse to feel more fresh. You could do it in your butt crack. I wouldn't suggest like the downstairs area. You don't want to be throwing off your pH, especially this time around. But I just love using witch hazel, especially the time of the month, because I love going to bed feeling extra clean. I think that's probably one of my favorite feelings. The routine before I go to bed. So this is what I call my cramps routine, cramps care routine, because this is what has been helping me sleep through all night, not letting the cramps wake me up. The first thing I do is wear a cotton breathable, this is actually linen, but a breathable PJs that's just comfortable. We can lay aside the silk and all the cheetah prints and everything. We're just trying to be comfortable now. And next is wearing socks to bed. When I tell you, this has been a game changer. I actually saw from like a Chinese medicine doctor. She was saying how whenever you cover your socks, your foot with socks, it's like, you know, warming the womb, because that's what's connected to. I said, okay, let me try it. When I tell you, it has been helping my body stay warm, because the temperature of our body actually dips during our menstrual cycle. So wearing socks is so important. But the one thing I've added, just like even regular days, is I struggle with dry feet. So I've been putting glycolic acid for like exfoliation, and then I put the L'Occitane foot cream, and then I seal it with Vaseline or some type of petroleum jelly. In the morning, my feet is so soft, glowing. I have not seen a crack in my foot. And I know a lot of us don't like sleeping with socks on, but just try it, trust me. But let me know, do you go to bed wearing socks or no socks? Next, I rub castor oil all over my stomach because it relieves cramps. It actually has anti-inflammatory properties, so that means it relieves cramps, stress, balances hormones. This is probably my favorite oil to put on my body, whether it's like, you know, my under eyes or like, you know, eyelashes or anything, but mainly my stomach, because it just helps me. Then to finish off, I put some type of magnesium spray or balm. Magnesium actually helps your muscle. It's like a muscle relaxer, so it helps you go to bed. And I put this on like 30 minutes to an hour before going to bed. When I tell you, it instantly makes me tired. I usually don't do this on a like regular Tuesday, but I like wearing an unscented deodorant before bed, because I feel like this time of the month we're sweating more, especially at nighttime. So to just smell better, waking up smelling better, I like putting on deodorant. And I cannot forget my bonnet, okay? To reduce frizz on our hair, but also the hair oil to not get to our skin, and then we're not breaking out, because this time of the month, it's not helping. That our hormones are everywhere, so we don't want any more acne. Then before I go to bed, I do take painkillers, especially the first 2 days. The third day doesn't hurt that much, but to just get me through the night, I just take like 2, and that's all I need. But that's just me. I'm not there in my cycle where I don't have to take any painkillers, and it's okay to take painkiller as long as it's not too much. And I also wear Invisalign, and since it's a Sunday, that means it's a new pack. I actually have a couple months left until I'm fully done, so I changed that up, put that on while my heating pad is heating up. I actually wanted to do something, you know, I like journaling at nighttime, praying before going to bed, but sometimes I like coloring. Do you see the artwork I've been making? And it's so relaxing. And this time of the month, I just want to sit, relax. Like, I feel like my body's going through it, my emotions are everywhere. So to just help my mind and like mentally just relax before going to bed, I like coloring. And I love this coloring book. So now I feel calm. Now I'm gonna get a full 8 hours of rest, because resting and hydration is so important. I hope you enjoyed this routine. Let me know what you do during your cycle and what helps you get through it. But thank you so much for watching, and come again.